So, good evening. We're back again with a star-studded lineup on the Realist podcast on YouTube. Chig will be joining at some point. He is running a little bit late. He's on that Nigerian time as always. And we have a special guest tonight. He wasn't on the podcast last week, but he is part of the group chat that we're in. So big up Zak, the kind gooner. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thanks for having me on, Lee.
Welcome. Afzal back again, looking fresh. You're looking good, man.
Thanks, Lee. Yeah, I just had a shave a bit ago, but yeah, glad to be back.
Welcome, Kenny.
Someone on this show, so I had a shave.
Welcome, Kenny. Kenny, looks like you've just been jogging, mate. You been for a run?
No, I did that. I did it at lunchtime. But let's just say, there's a lot of different opinions, which is what a debate show's about. Not everyone agreeing with each other, because having opinions and having a debate means that you have to accommodate people with different opinions. Just saying. Precisely.
And good evening to Chelsea Retirement Home founder member, Claude. How you doing, man?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and nice to see our friend Zak, the kind gooner, on the panel tonight. Great to see him on there.
It's kind of funny because the amount of people on Twitter that think I am Zak. The amount of people on Twitter that think me and Zak are the same person. It's my account. It's just the second account's funny. And look at that. Right on time. Look at that. Here he is. Welcome, Chig. Back again.
What up?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. Let's go. You've literally just joined a minute in, so you haven't missed much, mate. Let's go back. Let's start with Zak. Let's go. We obviously, the last podcast we did was before the Aston Villa game, and we were kind of looking forward to that game a little bit. That didn't really go to plan. Give me a breakdown. What did you think, man?
To be honest, Lee, it was an absolute disgrace. And you know that. I don't need to tell you that, right? The tactics were all wrong. 5 at the back, 2 DMs, Willian on the right, Aubameyang on the left. It was all wrong. Thing is, it might have worked at Old Trafford, right? Those tactics. But when you're playing Villa at home, this is the kind of mistake that got Emery sacked. If you think about the last 5-6 games of Emery's reign, he was playing 5 at the back, 2 DMs, and that got him sacked. We're Arsenal Football Club, right? We should have gone gung-ho for Villa, and we didn't. And that was all down to Arteta. Negative tactics, players out of position, the wrong players as well, not just players out of position, wrong players. Nobody can sit there and tell me that Willian is better than Pepe. No one can sit there and tell me that Danny Ceballos shouldn't be on that pitch for more creativity. Aubameyang's not a winger. And I thought we've got absolutely played off the park, not necessarily because Villa have a better 11 than us, just because they had better tactics and they've got a better manager. Simple as that. I thought it was an absolute disgrace, if I'm honest.
Yeah, mate, listen, I can't disagree with anything you just said. Yeah. They targeted Bellerin. There's a surprise. Everyone we play against targets Bellerin. And then what I found really weird in that game, I said this the other day, was that every time they went down Bellerin's side, Bellerin slotted in as a centre-back and Rob Holding went out to be the right-back, which I just... Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether he's been told to do that, but that is ridiculous. If you
noticed in the game, they were targeting that side so much. All they kept doing was pinging the ball over to our right-hand side, because they know that Bellerin's a weak link. They would have researched that. Holding and Bellerin are weak links. We could have had Maitland-Niles playing there, and we could have had Saliba, even David Luiz, and I'm not a big fan of David Luiz, but I don't get why he rushed Holding back. He clearly wasn't fit. We've got a goalkeeper who, for me, is dodgy, albeit I don't think any of the goals were his fault. And I just think it's an absolute shambles at the moment, mate. And I can only put the blame on one person, and that's Mikel Arteta, because I can't even blame the players anymore. I'm not a big fan of Hector Bellerin, but I can't even blame him, because you've got to blame the person who picks him week in, week out. And it's simple as that.
That's the thing. He's not picking himself, is he? Let's be honest here.
Well, exactly.
Zak, that takes me back to our conversation this morning about Aubameyang. That's what I mean. That very point you just made.
Well, I kind of agreed with you, Chig. I think Aubameyang is better through the middle because he's not a left winger. Is he the best centre forward in the league? No. Is he better than Nketiah and Lacazette? Absolutely yes. So until Martinelli gets fit, you've got to play Aubameyang through the middle. It's as simple as that.
No, I agree with that. And he scored last night for Gabon. He scored the winning goal in a qualifier for the African Nations, I think it was. And guess where he scored it from? Oh, yes, 3 yards out in the penalty box. Yeah. Right up front. It's not rocket science.
And the other thing, Lee, just I'll quickly say this as well, right? Against Villa, we had Joe Willock, who was brimming with confidence, right, from the Europa League game. And he dropped him from the squad, completely dropped him from the squad. Now, tell me on what level that even makes sense, because our front three, Willian has never scored a goal for us.
Yeah.
Lacazette, I can't remember the last time he scored a goal. And Aubameyang, he's not scoring this season. You've got Joe Willock who's scoring, Pepe who's scoring, 2 in their last 2, and Willock's not even in the squad. How does that even make sense? At least put him on the bench.
No, mate, listen, when we played, was it Dundalk? He scored in that game, didn't he? Yeah, him and Pepe scored.
Yeah.
Pepe got substituted in that game after 65 minutes and wasn't seen at Old Trafford at all. Yeah.
Mate, do you know sorry to interrupt you, mate. The one thing that really annoyed me about that Dundalk game was Pepe got subbed on 60 minutes, right? And I thought, right, that means he's going to start at Old Trafford. Right? Because otherwise, why would you take him off on 60 minutes if you're not going to start him at Old Trafford? Give him the full 90 minutes to go and prove this consistency that he keeps on going. Arteta keeps on going on about. So I was shocked that he didn't start at Old Trafford. Now, look, we won the game at Old Trafford, so we can't complain too much about that. But Pepe should have started at against Villa, definitely, 100%.
No, I agree, and I agree with what you said about Willock as well, mate. I don't particularly rate Joe Willock very highly, but when he's scoring goals and he's creating goals and he's running the show, albeit opposition, you still put him at least on the bench as some guy who can give you some level of fitness level in midfield to keep going when you're getting ploughed through. You bring him on and go, right, let's go man for man with them in midfield.
I'm not convinced about Joe Willock long term, but let's face it, in the Europa League in his last 2 games, he's the only midfielder who's got into the box. Out of all our midfielders at Arsenal, he is the only midfielder who gets into the box. Lost Ramsey, and I wasn't a big Ramsey fan, but the one thing that Ramsey did, he would break beyond the midfielders and beyond the strikers, get into the box and have a goal threat. That's what Joe Willock does, right? None of our other midfielders even get into the box. Name one midfielder other than Joe Willock who's ever been in the box this season. I can't think of one.
Yeah, exactly. Even Eddie Nketiah's goal that was disallowed in one of them games. Yeah, for Willock, funny enough, being offside. But Willock was right there. I know he was offside, but he was there. He scored against Dundalk. He scored against Mulder. He created goals. He was actually involved in 3 of our goals in that Mulder game out of the 4. And so he was involved in the 2 own goals, because he was pressuring the guy for the first one. He crossed it in for the second own goal. He scored a goal, the 4th goal. You know what I'm saying? It's madness. I don't get it. Let me move on to Afzal. Looking fresh baby-faced.
Thanks, Lee. Appreciate
What
it.
did you make of the game, mate?
You know what? I 99.9% agree with Zach. I'm not going to lie. First
100%.
of all, why... I do 100%, but I can't really say that. But yeah. First of all, why play 7 defensive players at home to Aston Villa? You play 7 defensive players when you're playing Chelsea away, Liverpool away, Spurs away, United away, City away. Fair enough. You have got to mix it up at home. 5 at the back away from home makes sense. 5 at the back at home never ever makes sense. Come on. Why is Saka playing as a left wing back at home? Put him on the left wing. He drives forward. Put him on the left wing. So I think that was the number 1 real error Arteta made. The number 2 Arteta made is, why play El Neni? Right? Just because he had 1 blind of a game, that doesn't mean he's the next answer. That is the problem with Arsenal fans, right? 1 player plays a good game, they're the next. They're the answer to all our problems. No, yeah, El Neni played brilliant against Man U, But he's not the answer going forward. Come on, we need to learn from our mistakes. Yeah, it's been going on for years at this club. Under Wenger, under Emery, under Arteta, right? One player plays well, there are answers to our problems. No. El Neni, I'm sorry, he shouldn't have been in that side. He should have been Partey and Joe Willock, right? You've got to pick informed players. Willock, the last 2 Europa League games he played, he was our best player on the pitch, both games. Willock should have started. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying he's the long-term answer as well, but he is a short-term answer, right? As Zach said, Joe Willock,
Afzal,
right?
Sorry to interrupt, but who picked El Neni?
Yeah, Arteta. That's what I said. Number 2, I said second error Arteta made. I said second error Arteta made. He played El Neni, right? As Zach said, in the past 3 years, we've had 3 to 4 years, 3 midfielders who would drive in the box. Wilshere, Ramsey, Willock, right? Wilshere, Ramsey have gone. Right now, Willock's the only one. Even Ceballos doesn't drive in the box, by the way. Ceballos does not drive in the box. So at home, you need a creative midfielder who drives in the box. Willock's the guy. So you play Partey, Willock, right? In that team, 6 players are not good enough to play for Arsenal, in my opinion. Bellerin, Holding, Leno, Willian, Lacazette, and El Neni. 6 players. So that's 6 out of 11 players, which... It's like, oh, why are they there? But they've got to be there because who else do we have? Okay, fine.
No, they don't have to. No, Afzal,
you're right.
They don't have to be there.
Let me speak. You're right. We have got players like Ceballos on the bench. Ceballos, I'd rather have him than El Neni. Willock, I'd rather have there. Pepe, Willian. All right. I'm not a Pepe fan, but that game, I probably would have started him simply because Willian hasn't done anything apart from his first game at Arsenal.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Like I said, Maitland-Niles can play. Maitland-Niles can play instead of Bellerin. Correct, you're right.
Martinez sold.
Yeah, but he's not at the club. So Leno, all right, Leno, you let that one slide. But...
So the only reason why I interrupted you, Afzal, was because you said, "Who else have we got?" You've just named 5 players who we've got that didn't play.
No. Listen to what I'm going to say. What I'm trying to say is that, look, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right? Of course. Hello? I thought
By
I
the way,
was frozen for a second. I thought I frozen for a second. No,
for the viewers, this is our group chat right now.
Chig is the voice of reason. The new voice
so obviously, but what I'm trying to say is, look, all right, Willian, Pepe, in my opinion, both haven't hit the levels of what I expect from Arsenal players, right?
Pepe, how many goals has Pepe scored this season? How many goals has Willian scored?
Pepe scored 3 this season, 2 in Europa League, 1 in the league.
And how many goals has
Willian scored 0, and he's hit 3 assists. I know that was in the first
So why would you start Willian ahead of Pepe?
Honestly, you want to know my honest opinion? I actually wouldn't start any of them.
Who would you start?
I would play Saka on the left, Aubameyang in the center, and at the moment, like at this current moment, because Martinelli's injured, usually I play Martinelli, but because Martinelli's injured, I would give, I know this is going to sound surprising to you guys, but I would maybe give Reece Nelson a chance.
Over Pepe.
I know it's controversial, but we know when he played that Europa League game, he played brilliant the whole 90 minutes. I know it was against Dundalk. I
wouldn't even necessarily disagree with that approach, because at least you've got 2 wingers on the wing and you've got a striker through the middle. If he played that, I wouldn't have any qualms. I would say, do you know what I mean? So, but he's not doing that, is he, mate?
And number 3 biggest problem, which is annoying me so much, Aubameyang on the left. I know Kenny thinks Aubameyang should play on the left, but I'm sorry, this guy should never play on the left. He is a centre forward, right? It's like Harry Kane playing on the left for Spurs. Would Harry Kane play on the left for Spurs? No, I don't care where Aubameyang wants to play, whether he prefers playing on the left, whether he prefers playing on the right. He should be our centre forward, right? Lacazette is not good enough, and Ketia is not good enough. We need our best player centre forward.
Afzal, quick question for you then.
Yeah.
If Arteta keeps making these decisions that you have called out as completely wrong, right?
Yep.
Over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Yep.
At what point are you going to say enough's enough? Arteta out.
Then that will be the point. Yeah. If he keeps making these 3 mistakes,
I'm asking you. When is the point? What is the point?
Let's put it this way: if I see the same lineup against Leeds, right? Yeah, I am not going to be happy at all. I'm just going to be like, this is a complete waste of time. I'm going to not be happy at all. Like I said last week on the podcast, and I stick to my guns, by the way, if he does not make Champions League football next season, he should not be manager of this football club, right? And that means even if he comes 8th and wins the Europa League, he should still not be the manager of this football club, because the bread and butter is always the Premier League, right? I don't care what anyone says. It's always the Premier League. It's not, if we finish 10th, right, and win an FA Cup and a Carling Cup, would that be a great season? No, it wouldn't. Yeah.
But
Okay,
Afzal, what happened to your trust the process rhetoric from a couple of weeks ago?
Because that's why I said, Zach, end of the season. If
you
he
either
does not,
trust the process or you don't. Which one is it?
Zach, that's why I said end of the season. If he doesn't come top 4 or
Yeah, but sure, yeah,
6th
but
and win a Europa League, I'm gone.
wait. Let me butt in there. Yeah. Surely the process is a 4-year process. That's what everyone's been told, right?
For me.
So how would you give up after 1 year?
For me, I've never ever said the process is 4 years. For me, this is always my process.
Anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute.
Okay,
let me get to Kenny, because Kenny's got a different opinion on Aubameyang, of course.
Listen, don't say it, Kenny.
But what did you make of the Villa game, Kenny? And what do you make of Aubameyang on the left?
Let's start the Villa game. First and foremost, no one in this group should be surprised about the team the manager going to play. That's our manager to a whole. He tries to be too clever. He doesn't keep it simple. Footballers like the game to be kept simple. He complicates matters all left, right, and centre. It's like he wants to show that he's got this tactical, like awareness that no coaches can do. Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. That's all he needs to do. The one thing about the Villa game that showed me as well, too many players are out of form. You could talk about players being out of position, and you can make excuses for Aubameyang and say, "Oh yeah, he should play centre forward." But let's face it, he's been dreadful this season. Let's just not escape that fact. And because people will say, "Oh right, if we play him centre forward where everyone wants him to play, is he suddenly going to find that form?" We don't know that. The fact of the matter is that for the last 2 seasons, from that position, he's scored 60 or more goals. People seem to forget that. Why don't people just say, Aubameyang's not playing out of position, he's playing poorly. He was poor against Villa. Absolutely poor. Was not shown for the ball. People say, oh yeah, but he's always got to track back. He doesn't have to track back, because the simple reason is if you have a back three, which we had, and then you had Saka, that is cover on the left-hand side. That is enough. So what Aubameyang's not doing, hasn't been doing this season, he's making those runs into the box, interchanging with Willian and Lacazette. He hasn't been doing that. That's part of the problem. Yeah, obviously, because he scores so many goals. Yeah, there's an argument from the play centre forward, but let's look at his form. It's not good enough, and that's
Kenny, don't you think that? Sorry to interrupt me. Yeah. Don't you think it's worth giving it a shot?
Maybe, yeah, because we're not scoring goals. But let's not overlook the fact he's been playing poorly. And
absolutely.
Let's talk about what came first. The fact that Pepe has been flattered, deceived, or the fact William has been chosen over him. Yes, Willian has been an absolute disappointment. No doubt about that. And he hasn't deserved his place. But let's not rewrite history and start, writing Walt Disney stories about Pepe. Come on. Yeah, Pepe played well against Dundalk, against Mulder. But when we've really needed him this season, he's been a disappointment.
Kenny,
he's inconsistent.
Kenny,
but we're talking about Dundalk and Mulder. Now, if that been any other player, let me finish that. If that been any other player that we didn't approve of, and they had those sort of games against great games, say Mesut, because we're not Mesut fans, and say he performed like that, and we would first thing we'll say, "Oh, it's against Dundalk and Mulder."
Kenny, the only thing I would say.
The
only thing I would say to you, Kenny, on that one is at the end of last season, he played 5 games in a row, right? He played the big games against Man City, Chelsea, and he performed brilliantly, right? First game of this season, he was dropped for Willian. So he hasn't really had a chance to do it this year. When he has been put in, he scored goals and he's looked threatening.
Yeah, but hang on it. Yeah, he said he scored goals. Hang on it. Let's face it, right? The player we played for, the £72 million player, all right. We bought this player because the board believed that Zaha wasn't the player we needed. He was too much money. So we got someone who, from France, who was going to provide us the things that Zaha provided. Yes, he's got fantastic skills, and yes, he's got a good left foot, but he hasn't been doing it consistently. That is no argument.
But Kenny, who has been doing it consistently? That's the point.
You say he's not good, and that's where the argument we're going to get to. All I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of. All I'm saying is that we're looking at Aubameyang playing centre forward. We're looking at Pepe not being a team. And we're not looking at the fact that Pepe has flattened to see, and Aubameyang's off form. But in terms of the Villa, in terms of the Villa game itself, we're too easy to beat. The reason why we're too easy to beat is, as you said before, go down the right-hand side and isolate Bellerin, because what's happened again, Arteta again is playing Rod Holding in the wrong position. Rod Holding always plays left centre-back. That's where he plays his best football. You play him on the right. Let me finish. You play him right centre-back, you're killing him. You're killing. And as for Bellerin, let's not go there with him. Let's not go.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Bellerin.
When you're trying to make progress, make progress, Bellerin, he takes 5 steps backwards.
Kenny, just going back.
Wait for him.
Just going back to your point about Pepe, mate. Here's the thing about Arteta. All of the little partnerships that we had that were building up is dismantled. Now, Pepe, if you look back to the end of last season, he was pinging in crosses for Aubameyang, coming in at the back post. I can't remember, there were a couple of games, Lee, you might be able to remind me, but there was a little bit of a partnership where Pepe was cutting in on his left foot and he was swinging in balls and Aubameyang was getting in for chances. Willian is non-existent. He's not even crossing the ball. So he's broken up that partnership. There's lots of other partnerships that he broke up.
Saka and Tierney he broke up as well, down the left.
That's what I'm going to get to. My beef for Arteta is his methods. I don't like his methods. I don't like the fact that we're playing a 3 at the back and we're curtailing the strengths of Kieran Tierney. I don't like that, because simple reason is that if what we're doing is we're making ourselves weaker down that left side when Kieran Tierney's not playing his proposition. This 3 at the back is negative. It's negative.
And Kenny, do you know what? You made a brilliant point there, because Kieran Tierney's crossing is absolutely fantastic, right? He should be playing left back, not left centre back.
Exactly.
I want him charging down that left wing.
Do you remember back in the day in the early 90s, we had Beckham and Neville.
Yeah.
Beckham, Neville down that right hand side. You could easily have had Tierney and Saka down that side.
Tierney and Saka there.
And then on form, we could be murdering teams.
Got man of the match last night for England.
But we're not doing that. This obsession with 3 at the back isn't working for Arsenal Football Club. It worked last year in the FA Cup against proper teams. But if we want to be on the front foot, we can't play like this. And that's why I've got a problem with this guy's methods.
Let's come on to Claude. He's been waiting patiently.
I'm waiting patiently, and
Go on, mate.
I keep hearing about Pepe this, Pepe that, he ain't doing this, ain't doing that. But what do you expect if a player can't get more than 4 or 5 games together? Of course he's going to lose confidence. You're in one game, you play well, come on, do well. Next game, you're dropped. You get 3.
He's at a big club, though. He's at a big club.
It's a big club. Let's behave like a fucking big club then.
If we behave like a big club, but in a day, this is a question. It's in France, though.
Kenny, if we was behaving,
this isn't France, Claude.
Kenny. If we were behaving like a big club,
you have to do
right?
It when you get the chance, or you get out of the team. He's not doing it.
Kenny, listen to me. If we was behaving like a big club, we would not be taking rejects from fucking Chelsea, right? If we was to be, if this was
that's a different argument, though. That's a different argument.
Right. We're not, and I've had enough, as I say, we've become a retirement home for Chelsea now, right? That's not big club attitude. Anyway, with Pepe, I suggest this, right? We could do. How about we play a 4-4-1-1 with Pepe behind Aubameyang up front? I think that would work perfect, because I think Pepe needs to be central. He can do a lot more damage centrally than wide. Yeah, he's too out of the game wide.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I want him to hurt defences.
So this so-called brilliant fucking coach, why can't he think of something like this? This brilliant coach, everyone is saying is a brilliant coach. because you know these other coaches that say he's great, they're just taking the piss, right? They're just taking the piss.
Yeah, of course they are.
Right, because they're giving them an advantage. Keep him in the job keeps them an advantage. Yeah,
That's a fantastic point, by the way.
Right? No,
Same with Jose Mourinho said that Xhaka's a great footballer. Of course, he's going to say he's a great footballer.
Yeah. Claude, remember back to the Wenger days, the last 5 years of Wenger. Every manager wanted Wenger to stay. Every opposition fans wanted Wenger to stay. Yep. Why? Because he was absolute crap. It's the same thing with Arteta. They know. They're not stupid, mate. They are not stupid. It's a brilliant point.
What you need is 4-4. You get the 2 wide players. You get the 4 back line. Yeah, you've got the 2-4, the 4 in the next 4. You put, that can work hard backwards and forwards. Yeah, and you have, and then you have the 2 in the middle, and then you have Pepe just in front of them, and up front. It would work perfect. It would work perfect. But
they give you more balance as well. Not only they give you a bit of everything.
All this crap we do now to keep the score down, play game. We're playing Villa, Aston Villa at home, and I heard someone, it was 2-0. The only reason he went 8 men behind the ball after 2-0, he didn't want to lose by more. What the fuck? We're at home to Villa. We're at home to Villa.
It's true.
Liverpool.
8 players in a row outside our box, and we're 2-0 down.
2-0 down.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Claude, say we're 2-0 down to a pub side. Say it.
2-0 down to the pub side. Yeah, we might as well, but they're not. They're not. But
steady on. Steady on, Claude.
Steady on, Claude.
All right, Claude. I've got certain fans think you're out of order because Villa beat the mighty Liverpool 7-2, so we should be so grateful to lose.
I'm not interested in what they're doing to other teams. I'm worried about my own team.
Well, Claude, there's some fans on Twitter who said that Villa scored 7 against Liverpool. Arsenal only conceded 3. So they're proud of the team because we didn't concede.
That's our fan base all over. That's our fan. That's the biggest problem with this football club.
I'm not going to name any names, but they know who they are.
Our fan base, because they all listen to that idiot who thinks he fucking knows everything. DT, they all listen to him. They think he's the fucking God, the Bible. Fucking DT is the Bible of this football club. They all listen to. That's all I got this morning. Abuse from all these fanboys that love him.
Claude, just ignore it, man. Ignore it.
Absolute rubbish.
Let me ask you, Claude. Right? I mean, obviously, we're not his biggest fan, Arteta. Yeah. Is there a way for you personally that you could go? Do you know what? He is actually the right man. Is there any way that you can see him coming back and going, I can actually do this, this, and this? And you sit there and go, yeah, he's the right man now because he's turned it around and we've gone on a run. What would he have to do for you to go, yeah, actually, maybe I was wrong?
Change his whole. If he changed everything and done things that he should be doing, I might change my mind, but that's different. But he's not showing me anything. Look, listen, I did not want. This is where I stand with Arteta, right? I did not want him in from the start, right? Because if you look at any big industry, if you go ICI, for example, like ICI, for example, you wouldn't put the fucking post-room manager in charge of the fucking company, would you? Right? No. Like, this is a big football club. You do not put a man that's got no experience in any way at all, a man that was all his experience was listening to, standing in the corner listening to pep talk. Yeah,
he'd never managed a football game. He'd never managed a football game in his life. When we appointed him, never managed one game. Yep.
Exactly. Never managed a club in his life. He's put in charge of one of the biggest free clubs in the country. Ridiculous. And for people to say that it was they agreed with the appointment, that it was their first choice of appointment. I can't believe I'm hearing. I can't believe it.
Yeah, but who said that? Who said Arteta was their first choice? I don't know any fans who
said that. People, not in here. There are people.
No, Kenny, there's loads of people that have said that they wanted Arteta as manager. Like that was their choice.
And some of those people, by the way, were adamantly against him. But because it's the cool thing to now support the manager,
yeah, but that's how we
all of a sudden.
Let me come to Chig. Obviously, Chig, I know your thoughts on the Villa game. We were watching it, yeah, and I knew. You were bubbling, boy. I see you on that watch along, yeah, and I was like, I wasn't even pissed off. I looked at that game and I just thought, we really fucking surprised that we've just been pumped. Not really. Like, but you were fuming. Yeah, and when we did player ratings, you were mad angry, bruv. And I was just like,
I just think for me, the way the match played out, I predicted to you the week before, and I'm not paid $6 fucking million a year. You know what I mean? Like I've never managed a football match either. I've never taken a coach. I've never ran a coaching field. But in my mind, when you go into a football match, you assess threats, and I saw Villa as having an energetic young midfield. Neutralize that threat. Do whatever you have to do to neutralize that threat. Now, yes, don't get me wrong. I agree with Kenny Ken. I think, unfortunately for us, we had way too many people off form. Even more reason that you put the few people that are in form into the team. Yeah. And yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't think Pepe has been amazing since he's got to Arsenal. But one of the things that I think me, and particularly you, Lee, I know you feel the same way, is that Pepe always gives you that threat. He always gives you that threat. For me, if I had to bet my house on someone scoring me a goal, it ain't gonna be Willian. It's just not gonna happen. You know, the guy works hard. I'll give him that.
But so does Pepe, Chig. Pepe works hard.
I agree. I agree with you. But I think for me, you have to go out there and win a game. Like Claude alluded to, you're playing Villa at home, bro.
Yeah.
So what I want is goals. I don't want Willian. I want Pepe out there. And tell me, apart from working hard, which you can argue Willian does better, right? Penalty wise, he's just as good as penalty taker as him. Set piece wise, he's a better set piece taker than them. So why is he so in love with this Chelsea reject? I don't know.
It's his man. Like
I don't get it.
2-year-old reject from Chelsea.
That's what I'm worried about, because is it now just a thing whereby he wants to bring his stamp to the team, regardless of the detriment?
Yes, Chig. Let me just interrupt you on that one, Chig. I've got a feeling the Pepe thing is Pepe's not my signing. I want to show everyone. I don't want any other manager taking credit, because let's face it. Arteta is a control freak, right? I've heard that phrase bandied about Arteta in the last couple of weeks. He's one of those types of managers, the micro managers, control freaks that nobody likes. And I think it's Pepe wasn't my signing. I've got Willian in. I'm going to prove everyone that I'm the guy. Do you know what I mean? I think there's an element to that, by the way.
I think you're right. I did mention this morning that I don't know if anyone remembers when Arteta was first linked with this job. I remember Ramsey and Koscielny came out and they were dead against Arteta taking the job. And the reason being is he's very arrogant, he's very kind of a control freak, things done his way. And I think now that we're past this honeymoon period and the rose-tinted glasses are slipping for some people are seeing it. For me, my issue with Arteta has been from the very start, the man's not qualified. The man's not qualified. I could even, I've said this so many times, I feel like a broken record. Even if you wanted to give Arteta the job, right? Build some sort of journey for him. Help him somehow. Even if you said, all right, I'm going to bring in the experienced manager for 3 years. I'm going to work Arteta through the system so he understands the job. He understands the philosophy, not just from a player's point of view, because some idiot's going to say, oh, well, he was a player for 4 years. No, from a managerial point of view. Knowing that you are supposed to develop youngsters. Because I truly believe he doesn't know how to do it. You're supposed to develop youngsters. You're supposed to integrate them as part of the team.
Yeah, sorry to cut you mid-flow. He's not going to know how to do it because he's been at a club that just go and pump fucking billions of pounds into buying new top of the range.
There you go.
By the way, Chig.
One guy, Phil Foden. That's it.
By the way, Chig, I don't think his lack of experience is the main issue here. I just think he's not a very good judge of a footballer. You know, I think even if he had 5 years more experience, he'd still be picking Lacazette ahead of Martinelli, Bellerin ahead of Maitland-Niles, Leno ahead of Martinez. That's nothing to do with experience, man.
I agree with you, and I think what's very frustrating, actually, and this is where, and I always credit Kelly Can every show I do with this, and I'm glad he's on so you can hear me formally, is this is where we should have never, ever, ever hired an Arsenal person as an Arsenal manager. Because people don't have that. People are looking through rose-tinted glass. All I'm hearing is arguments like, it's been 10 months. So? If it's been 6 weeks and you're doing a crap job, you should get out.
Mate, the Crystal Palace got potted after 4 games.
Yeah, that's the ball. A big game. If you look at the whole situation, the amount of time that Arteta has got as opposed to Unai Emery is just shocking. Unai Emery played more attacking football than Unai Emery. Aubameyang and Lacazette were playing better, producing better performances under Unai Emery. That's factual. You know what I mean? But
he was developing the youngsters, Kenny.
Yeah. Saka came through. Willett came through.
Martinelli up front.
Martinelli came through. All these young players. And plus, remember, as you said before, Lee, he had a plan on how he wanted to bring us forward in terms of getting Zaha, getting players like Maguire, getting Partey earlier. So the guy had a plan. Results didn't go for him. They're talking about man management. Hang on here. Let's talk about this guy's man management. Let's not. I know I sound like a broken record. Let's point to his hand of Saliba trying to come out with some nonsense.
You've leaded me on.
The guy's got to go on loan. The guy's got to go on loan. He was on loan last year.
How bad last year? When you look at the likes of Mustafi and David Luiz, David Luiz has been one of the more consistent ones. But when you look at our defense, how bad can this kid really be?
That's the thing, Chig. The thing is, if you don't rate him, I've got a problem with Arteta not rating him. Sell him, get some money in and get someone, and let's use it to develop a team. Arteta's entitled to pick who he wants, entitled to pick any formations. That's on it. That's on him. It's his decision. Results will find him out, and then the decision that he made. But let's not talk about this. We've got our Arsenal back. Arteta's first few games. Let me go for Arteta's first few games since he's been at the club. Bournemouth, the mighty Bournemouth, an equaliser by Aubameyang, 1-1 at Dean Court. Next game, Chelsea, 2-1 at home when we were controlling the game. Then Man United 2-0, struggling to beat Leeds United, and then we got through the FA Cup against the mighty Bournemouth, Portsmouth, got lucky against Sheffield United. Took City by surprise, and the referee helped us against Chelsea in the final. You look at all the other results. Oh, let's have a look at that. Villa away. Oh, we lost that one. Stroke beat Watford. Burnley away, 0-0. And then we found our Arsenal because the players are doing the basics, which the under-11s should do. Now, I'm not denigrating his achievements, but I'm not going to sit here and have someone tell me and insult my intelligence and say they've seen progress when there hasn't been. It's no different to when Unai was in charge. As you always say, we have better players now. This guy's meant to be this great coach. Well, I'm not seeing evidence in it. All I'm seeing is square pegs, round holes, plaster over of the sticky tape football. Now, if that's how you're going to play, right? If that's how you're going to play, then why did you not go to the board and say, I want A, B, C, and D to improve this team? Because you're the team manager now, not the team coach. Why?
Kenny, it's nothing to do with transfers, mate. You made a really good point about man management, right? Arteta's lack of man management is staggering. Look at, for example, I'm going to just list out a few. Lee, let me just list out a few examples, right? Martinelli, when Aubameyang got suspended for those 3 games when he got that red card, Martinelli came straight in the team, hit the ground running, and was performing brilliantly. What happened when Aubameyang came back? Martinelli was dropped straight away. Guendouzi. I'm not Guendouzi's biggest fan, but the way he handled Guendouzi is an absolute disgrace. Basically, he bullied the kid into leaving the football club because he stuck up for Arsenal players. Now, if you go back to the 90s, early 90s, Tony Adams, Ian Wright, Rocastle, all these players, they used to stick up for each other, whether you agreed with it or not, whether we want to sit and analyse it after the game. On that pitch, you stick up for your teammates, right? That's exactly what Guendouzi did, and he's been kicked out of the club because of it, right?
I've got a story to you. We played Everton in 2006 at home, and on that team was Tim Cahill and Mick Arteta playing for Everton. William Gallas was having a bit of a spot and bob with Tim Cahill, and William Gallas was slapping Cahill about. Who was putting their nut in to protect their mate? Oh yes, Mick Arteta was putting his nut in to protect his mate Tim Cahill, and now Guendouzi has been banished. Now, regardless of what you think about Guendouzi's kamikaze, he ain't got tactical awareness. hang on here. This supposedly crap manager, devil incarnate, Unai Emery, got the best out of the guy.
Yeah.
Now, whether you agree with whether he should be playing or not, he produced okay performances. He stayed in the team, and he was.
And Kenny, I know.
Yeah.
You're not a big fan of Lucas Torreira, are you, Kenny? I know that.
Absolutely
But
not.
what
Because
has happened
I
to
think it's better in it.
But what's happened to Torreira under Arteta? Just kicked him out. He didn't even give him a chance.
But the problem is, Zach, they're not gonna blame Arteta for that. They're gonna blame Unai Emery for playing him as a false number 10. But that's what they're blaming him for.
For Atletico the other night.
Yeah. So basically, all Unai Emery was trying to do was get a modern midfielder to basically press from the front, start the low block. And by the way, if you're in these sort of positions,
Kenny, not that word.
Let me finish. Get in the box and score goals. And guess what? Torreira was scoring goals under Unai Emery. But this devil Unai Emery effed up Torreira.
Kenny, last point I want to make on man management, right? On Arteta's lack of man management, and this sums it all up, right? Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and Arteta first came into the team. Ainsley Maitland-Niles was playing right back. He was playing absolutely out of his skin, right? For 10 games straight, he was playing brilliantly. I've never seen the kid play as good at right back. Under Emery, he was quite a bit dodgy, right? Then, as soon as Bellerin got fit, he dropped Ainsley, and Ainsley has never been seen again at right back. He's been shifted to left wing back. He's been played here, there, everywhere, right? That is an absolute disgrace. And then he comes out and says, Maitland-Niles has to show me every day in training that he's consistent. Well, Bellerin hasn't shown me in 5, 6, 7 years that he can be consistent. So what's that about?
Not even that. He came out and said Bellerin is not consistent in training. That was when I thought, okay, well, you clearly don't know what you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, Maitland-Niles would have not let Grealish get away with what he was getting away with. Maitland-Niles had he dealt with him properly.
Agreed.
Let me just catch up with these super chats quick before they pop off the screen. There is over 1,100 people watching this live. Big up everyone who is watching. Firstly, slap a like on the video if you haven't already. We ain't even on 300 likes. You lot are mugs. Yeah, sort it out. You're moving like Tapas Pulis right now. Come on, sort it out. Like the content. But thank you to Brandon. Little off topic here. He said, what advice would you give someone starting a channel? I was on Football Terrace with you the other night. Oh, yes, I do remember you. Big up to you. Consistency, fuck what anyone thinks, and just say what you believe in, mate, regardless of love or hate. And consistency, work rate. That's all it's about, bruv. And if people like it and you're consistent and they can see that you're not faking it, then you'll be good, bruv.
Big up. If I can do it, Brandon, anyone can do it.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. Didn't like his treatment of Guendouzi, says Tyrone. We'll come to Afzal in a second. Let me just quickly run through these before they go, because they do pop off the screen. Pierre Aubameyang was playing up top week in, week out. He'd be guaranteed 30 goals a season. Very quickly on that, he played 10 games for Borussia Dortmund on the left wing. That's it. 10 games in 213 on the left wing. He actually played more on the right wing. Great podcast. Greetings from Chicago. Stay safe. Thank you to everyone who is chucking in donations as well. I do appreciate that, especially in the Corona times that we live in right now. And thank you to the 3 latest members of the channel as well. I do appreciate all 3 of you joining up to memberships. But let me come to Afzal real quick. Saliba. Saliba is linked with AC Milan today. Do you think that, number one, we're going to bin him off? And it's linked with a permanent deal as well. It's not a loan, it's a permanent deal. And if you were Saliba, would you leave?
For me, in my opinion, I think Saliba should be given a chance at this club, simply because the centre-backs we have are not good enough. We've got many centre-backs at this club. We've got Chambers, who I believe isn't good enough. We've got Mari. He's played a handful of games, but he's also not the answer going forward. Socrates is out the team. David Luiz, he's not the answer as well. Rob Holding isn't good enough. The only one centre-back in our club where I say, wow, good player, is Gabriel at the moment. So we definitely need a partner next to him. Now, I'm going to be honest. I've never seen Saliba play. He might be great. He might be rubbish. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. But we should give him a chance. Just give him a chance, right? and we will judge him after 5-10 games if he's good or if he's not good, right? He deserves a chance. I think, look, we signed him for 18 million, right? And why not just play him? Or at
27 million, that's how.
Or 27. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. He's 18 years old and we signed for 27 million.
Yeah.
Why not play him in the cup
million
game?
pounds.
I know he's not in the Europa League squad. I understand that. But at least the Carling Cup, play him, you know. And if I was Saliba, yes, I would want to leave because I'm not playing games. Simple as that. However, Arsenal now need to give him a chance. They need to look at the situation and say, look, we bought him as a so-called young, good prospect. And we need to try fit him in to our team. So let's get him in there slowly and let's see if he can be a good partner for Gabriel, because none of the other players beside Gabriel are good enough, you know. We've got Luis. Yeah, okay, fine. He's had a few couple of good games, but he's mistake prone. He makes loads of mistakes. Holding makes mistakes. The whole lot of them make mistakes, yeah? And it's not acceptable now. We need to find, you know, a good centre-back pairing. Yes, Gabriel, he looks like he's going to be a great centre-back for the club, but we need to find someone next to him. And just saying, you know, Kenny and Zach were going on about Guendouzi and Torreira and all that stuff. Even them, they're not the answer for this football club, right? They've had enough chances in this club to perform well, and they haven't done that. So I haven't got a problem with them going out on loan. That's not an issue at all. I just think now we need to mix up the team. That's the one thing that can save Arteta. If he carries on playing the same players, the same formation, then he's going to be in big trouble, right? Regarding his job. But if he mixes it up, gives players a chance, you know, mixes up the formation, then we can at least say, look, he's trying, he's doing something different, and it could work. Yeah,
Afzal, let me ask you a question.
Games coming up. Leeds
Afzal,
away. One sec. Leeds away. Yeah, carry on.
Go on, Afzal, finish your point.
Oh.
No.
Okay, we've got Leeds away coming up. We've got Wolves at home coming up, and we've got Spurs away coming up. They are 3 really, really hard games. Now, if he doesn't mix it up for those games, we're in trouble.
All right, Afzal, let me ask you this question then, right? Listen. Right. What makes you think on any level that Arteta is suddenly going to do this massive U-turn and start mixing it up when from day dot he has not done that? He's probably the most stubborn manager I've ever come across. We had Wenger for 25 years, right? Who's the second most stubborn manager I've ever come across. What makes you think on any level he's going to start mixing it up? I just want to ask you that.
Well, hopefully he analyzes the last game.
You've got on the record.
He needs to change it up. He needs to analyze.
What? But why wouldn't he realise last season?
Right? We've scored 1 goal. Yeah, one second. We've scored 1 goal in the past 4 games, and that was a penalty. He needs to realise we lack creativity, we lack goals. How can I change it up? He needs to think.
Yeah, but he knew that last season, Afzal, and he didn't do anything.
He knew that last season.
Mate,
he knew that last season when we lost to Brighton Villa Spurs, and we drew at home to Leicester. He knew that last season, mate. He did not change it up. He did the opposite. He reverted to type. You know, I don't see any signs of him making these changes that you say we need to make. So why are you going to wait until the end of the season before you make a judgment on this guy? I don't get it.
Well, come to you anyway, Claude. Come on, mate.
Torreira, don't you think Torreira, if we'd have kept him, would have been ideal and not alongside Partey?
Yep.
I do personally.
Yeah, I do. I think that he would have given a bit more.
I've never been particularly high on Torreira myself, but I'll tell you what, I would much rather him next to Partey than El Nene, who's not shown us anything in 6 years. But we realise this is his last year of his contract. Now all of a sudden wants to start playing. Sorry, Ceballos or Willock?
It's not creativity.
Yeah, but you don't need them to. If you've got 2 defensive midfielders and you have 4 attackers and fullbacks that actually know how to attack, like Tierney and Maitland-Niles, then you don't have to have 2 in front of the midfield who can create. You can have them sit in there.
This whole idea of a central attacking midfielder being your only creative option is bollocks.
Exactly.
People don't even have a fucking creative midfielder. They create down their wings. So if
you could have the four, like Torreira and Partey in the middle. You could have Pepe in front, and then
exactly.
Saka, Martinelli, and then Aubameyang. Exactly. That's exactly.
You could even go with Torreira, Partey, and Willock.
Yeah.
You can do Torreira, Partey, and Willock. Them three going forward and defensively would be a lot better than we are now. Not only that, that'd open up the doors with Willock's driving runs for Pepe and Saka and Aubameyang as a free to run off of their centre backs or their full backs. We don't do that. We're so caught up with this. Oh, we need a Mesut Ozil number 10 type of player. It's a load of rubbish.
No. I honestly, if going forward, I would play Partey, Ceballos, Willock for the time being, because you've got your Partey to sit back. You've got your Ceballos who will, he's like a proper central midfielder. And then you've got Willock he's like box to box, You've got
what do you think the chances of him doing? What do you think the
mids.
chances of him doing that are, Afzal? What do you think the chances? Honestly, give me a probability. Very unlikely.
Very unlikely, Zach. Very unlikely. I've been saying
More
that
likely
for a while.
to bring
Those
back
three.
of that.
But this is this is where you guys say one sec. This is why I'm touching on Lee's point, saying about the trust the process is 4 years. For me, a process is never 4 years, right? For me, the trust the process has never been 4 years. For me, my number one rule, I always give manager a year, right?
He's had 10 months.
I was Wenger out. No, listen. I was Wenger out in August 2011 when we lost 8-2 to Man United. I never turned back from there. Emery, I said to myself, I'm going to give him 1 year. After the first year, we got to the Europa League final. We lost. We came 1 point off fourth. I said to myself, is he the right man? I don't think so. However, let's give him a few more games to see if he can get the right players in the summer and transform forward. After 5 games in, when we lost to Watford, we that disgraceful display to Watford when we drew 2-2, in September 2019. When we conceded 25 shots against us, I knew straight away he wasn't the man. I wanted him out. I never went back. He got out. With Arteta, when he came in, as you all know, my 4 choices to come in was either Mourinho, Pochettino, Brendan Rodgers, and Nuno. I wanted those 4, right? It didn't happen. All right. I said to myself, I will give Arteta a season. End of last season, I look at the situation. Okay, he won us the FA Cup. He came 8th. He started 11th. He came 8th. Am I going to give him a chance? Yes,
but Afzal, you say that all the time about positions. He did not progress us. When he came in as a supposed messiah, he didn't take us any further than we would have been. The position is a red herring, mate.
Okay. Then I said to myself, I'm going to give him a transfer window. Let's see how he progresses this season. First 4 games, 1-3, lost 1. Okay, we lost at Anfield. All right. Last 4 games, I'm going to be honest, I've been very, very disappointed. And I've said since 12 September when the season started, I said, if you don't get top 4, then I don't want him. I want him gone, because the minimum aim for Arsenal Football Club is to be playing in the Champions League, right? Yeah? That should be the minimum.
I'm not interested in top 4, Afzal.
Yeah,
even
I
if
know,
he finishes
4.
We've got to take... Afzal, let me ask you this question. Let me just ask you this. If he finishes 4th and he's 40 points behind Liverpool, by your definition, he stays as manager of this football club.
Zach, we've got to take it. We've got to do baby steps. Zach, we've got to take it step by step.
No, I'm not having 40 points.
No. Wait. We don't have to take it step by step. Conte took Chelsea from 10th to 1st in one season.
I think, Conte had better players, right? Now,
that's not irrelevant. Conte's a light years better manager, so go and employ a better manager who'll get best out of our players.
What I'm trying to say is, in general, the minimum aim is top 4. If he doesn't get back in that Champions League,
that's your minimum aim.
Simple as that. Yeah. For the time being, it is. Yeah. If he doesn't get that top 4, he should be sacked. I'm going to treat him the same way I treated Emery and all that managers. Come May, if he doesn't get top 4, he should be gone. Do I think we're going to get top 4? 99.9%. No, we're not.
What is this?
Wait.
Yeah, you just said you're 99% sure that we ain't getting top 4.
We are going to get top 4.
Yeah, still want to give him until the summer then.
No, Lee. For example, let me give you an example. If he plays the same team, same formation against Leeds, Wolves, and Spurs, and we come out of those fixtures with 2 points,
Okay, so what if
You know
what
I'm
if
going to
it's
change.
the same tactics, same formation, but we come out with 6 points?
Yeah.
That's good enough, is it?
But we're not going to come out with 6 points
No,
with the
how do you
same
know
tactics
that?
formation.
You
I know we're not.
You
I
can.
know
I'll
we're
put a
not.
brand on each game.
There's a 0% chance if he plays the same players. I can guarantee you, if he plays the same players in the same formation, we are not going to come out of there with more than 3-4 points. There's
Okay,
no
so at that
chance.
point, after them 3 games, would you want him sacked?
If the situation is continued, if he's not changing, then yeah.
Well, Afzal, you've just contradicted
Okay, well, at least you
yourself.
admitted it. Finally, you admitted
Yeah,
it.
but hang on, Lee,
because,
1 second.
Zach, because I said end of the season, but Zach, if this continues, we're not going to get. If we get,
No, but
if we lose
Afzal,
the next
listen,
3 games,
hang on.
we're going to
You
be
either
like,
back him, you either back him till the end of the season, and you judge him in May, as the old saying goes, judge him in May, right? Or you're Arteta out now. You see, there's no middle ground there.
Zach, the problem is, Zach, right? What if we lose the next 5 games? Right?
Yeah, he can still get top 4.
We're not going to get top 4 if we lose the 5 games. Come on,
well,
we gotta,
how do you know?
We've got, because Zach, if we lose the next 5 games, no, we're not going to get top 4, right?
That means the whole
thing. We're getting it anyway. You just said you're 99.9% sure we ain't getting top 4 anyway. So what?
Yeah,
top 4, top 4, top 4, whatever. We want to win.
In my opinion, I don't think he is. If he carries on with the same formation and players, we won't. But just say, okay, what if next game Arteta? Okay, there's no evidence that he does this. No, what if next game he
Do you know where this bullshit? Do you know where this bullshit has come from, Afzal? It's come from Arsene Wenger. Judge him in May. That mentality. Because Afzal, you're a bit younger than us, right? The rest of us on here. Oh, Chig, you might be about Afzal Zak. But
Chig's older.
This Wenger,
listen.
This Wenger, hang on a second. This Wenger's mentality about let's judge everything in May. No, you judge him now on what he's doing in the present moment. If you don't wait a year before you judge him. And
right now, I'm not happy what he's doing. But for example, if he decides to miraculously change it around for the Leeds game, he decides to play Maitland-Niles in the team. He plays Willock in the team. He plays Ceballos on the team. You know, he does these changes.
He's not going to do that, mate.
Yeah, I'm just saying if that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Zach. Like, or if for me, I'm disappointed with what's going on at this current moment. If he doesn't change that, then yeah, we will need a change.
Afzal, he's had 10 months. Well, it's actually 11 months in the job.
Yeah.
People can bang on and chat shit about it was COVID and this and that. He had 3.5 months of no football. Yeah, which let's be real here. 3.5 months of no football.
Season was completed. That season was completed. That argument goes out the window.
I agree. A manager, he should know his best team now. He should be in full flow. I'm not making excuses like other players. I'm not making excuses like other players.
He's not getting the results. Why is everyone so scared to stick it on him?
And by the way,
give a manager.
Let me come to Claude quickly. Go on, mate.
Sorry, I was interrupted by an abusive phone call there.
No, that's right. I said, why do you think so many people are scared to actually dig him out for results and dig him out for poor performances? Why is it so fashionable with this particular manager over any other manager we've had in the years we've been alive? Yeah, because let's be real, you guys are older than me, you and Kenny. You remember Terry Neal getting potted down the tunnel? Yeah,
different set of fans. We've got a different set of fans now, mate. We've got.
That's true. Yeah,
you've got fans now that attach themselves to players and managers rather than the actual club itself.
Claude, can I just cut in? Sorry about your point, right? You're talking about this sort of fans. You're talking about YouTube fans and Twitter fans. They only cover 9%.
That's what I mean.
I hear you, Claude, but why are these small percentage of fans the fan base? They're not the fan base. The fan base are people that you
because they go out
No, because people take notice of them, and because people think they represent the fan base. They don't. People on Twitter,
that's the problem that people do.
No,
yeah, but people do because
Claude,
there's the geezer on 200.
Doesn't matter, Claude.
100k subscribers.
No, you're wrong.
And they listen to this crap.
Wrong. Yeah, but wrong. They're not the fan base. No one in the media listens to them. The fan base, people go to Blackstone Road.
The fans listen to it.
They're only a small percentage, Claude. That's what gets me down. Is that people on Twitter and YouTube and social media, they're not the fan base. They're only 0.9%. The other 99% don't use social media. The 99% are your friends who go to the pub with you. They're the Arsenal fan base, the old boys, not these
and they listen.
guys.
And they also listen to this crap as well. But that's what I'm trying to say. They listen to it and they believe in it. They believe in this shit. They believe it's like the Ozil thing that's going on all the time about, you know, free Ozil or they're free this and free that. You know, it's all everyone listens to that shit. Kenny.
The thing is, you both made good points, right? Kenny, on one hand, Claude's right. Yeah, listen, we've got 1,125 people watching this right now on YouTube. Yeah. I don't claim to speak for anyone. I speak for myself. It's my channel. I'm just giving my thoughts on it, blah, blah, blah. But there will be people out there that view this, and big up everyone who does, but there will be people out there that view this that think I am speaking for the fans. Yeah. Same with other channels out there for other teams as well. There are fans globally that think, right, well, Lee speaks like that about the club, so that's what the club must be like, because they might not have had the opportunity to go to the club because of logistics and money and whatever it may be. So people that do live in other countries might look at this channel and might look at other channels and say, well, actually, is that what Arsenal fans are actually like? Or is that what Man United fans are actually like? Or is that what Chelsea fans are like? So I get both sides of it. Kenny, you're right, because listen, the YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they're fucking massive. Yeah, between them three, I think Facebook's got 3 billion people use it. This has got 2.6 billion people view it every week. Yeah, or every year, sorry. Right? That's 5.5 billion people between just them two platforms. But how many of the football fans for said club are on each platform? I don't know. You don't get them figures, yeah? But the internet is bigger for football than we give it credit for. Yeah. But at the same time, you're right what you're saying. It isn't the whole. Because when we were all Wenger out and all the protests and all that, if you was looking on Twitter, you'd think 10,000 people were marching down Hornsey Road.
There weren't that many.
Exactly. But there was thousands of likes and retweets going about.
Lee, can I be mischievous just for 1 second, right?
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to be mischievous, right? And this is I'm not going to be mischievous, but I'm going to be factual. You talk about the Wenger out protests. I know everyone who was on that protest with me, carrying the flags. Yep. And who were with me, and I know them by name and by faces, and I've got the proof that they were there.
Yep.
They are now trying to become the voices of reason, and they're now trying to criticise anyone who shows any negativity towards the football club. Well, trying to organise, trying to join marches organised, not by you, but marches that you supported, went on marches with. Not only that, you were stirring the porridge on Twitter and social media. For you now to go around and start having a go at people because they have concerns about the manager. Now, we are not happy with this manager. I don't think he's the right man for the job. But the football club, and let's not forget this, right? The football club, the chief executive has laid down our plans and what he wants. So if the chief executive stands by his word, then the chief executive will make decisions. So don't go around saying, "Oh, negative fans like you lot." No, the chief executive and the Arsenal Football Club have been talking about you guys going around about this little narrative that negative fans. Hang on here. I remember some of you guys in the Wenger out days. I know each and every one of you and what you said. I know I've got the tapes to prove what you said, and I've got the transcripts to what you've written 4 years ago,
some of them on my
3
show.
years ago, and 2 years ago. And so, please do not try and reinvent the wheel, and in order to denigrate everyone else because they've got different opinions to you.
Kenny, let me make this point about negative fans, so-called negative fans like us, right? I don't know 5 more positive Arsenal fans than you lot on this podcast, right?
Exactly.
Even Afzal, and that I'm honestly saying that, hand on heart, and I'll tell you why. Because you all want what's best for this football club, and you don't sugarcoat things. You say it how it is, and you want us to improve and move forward and be where we need to be, which is at the top of English football, challenging again in Europe. That's why you're positive. You're not negative.
Down, by the way.
Can I just say something? Yeah, all these fans, like these, obviously a lot of what Kenny was saying, these so-called positive Arteta fans who are criticizing you lot. That's a disgrace because why should they have a go at you guys for wanting him out? I fully understand why each of you 5 want him out. You have your valid points. You've all made really good valid points, right? Yeah. But anyone else who are saying you guys are talking nonsense, no, you're not. Yeah, everyone's right. Everyone has a right of their opinion, and anyone watching this who's a real passionate Arteta fan should know that you've all made valid points, right? Each and one of you had said some good valid points on why you want him out.
I know I'll give you a hard time.
I think those people saying, "Oh, Arteta is the best thing ever" and stuff, I don't think they truly believe that. I think they're just saying that because they want to. They feel like they have a right to back them out.
Themselves. They want to, and I made this point the other night to somebody.
They feel they have a right to back them out. Yeah,
they want to protect their brand. You're not interested in the football club.
No, when it was Wenger in and Wenger out, there was a massive divide. Yes, at times I went over the top with some of the shit I said about Wenger. Yeah, I think we can all agree. We probably all did at times. Yeah. But when you've got the Wenger in saying we're going to smash your face in at games, and you're telling fuck Wenger this and that caused a big divide. The next manager coming, Unai Emery, all of us Wenger out said, fucking hell, lovely, we got him out, we've got a new manager now, let's go. Yeah. All the Wenger ins didn't fucking want him, regardless, because
it's all.
So now this is where you've got the hook on it. Yeah, this is where you've now got the hook. He gets sacked. Now Arteta comes in. That's now, we can all be friends again now. Yeah, we can all push Arteta. Fuck off, absolute wankers. Yeah,
Lee, I bet you half these people abusing you on Twitter in the past 2 months about Arteta. Half of them have probably turned Arteta. Half of them are probably Arteta out now. Half of them have probably turned Arteta out, by the way.
It's all
don't be surprised. That's what I'm saying. It's all like politics and stuff, you know. It's all nonsense.
You saw it Sunday. You saw it Sunday with your own eyes in that studio. You saw it Sunday. Get rid of him all. Fuck him out of his club. Fuck this shit. Next day, the same guy, trust the process. The same fucking guy. You see it all, mate. They're idiots. Idiots, mate.
Let's smash the likes up. We'll do a couple more minutes. Bash some questions in.
Can I ask you all one question?
I had a second question. Let me get one kind of
Another one on that channel said. Another one on that channel.
Oh, don't worry about them, man. Don't worry about them.
No, I'm just saying. I'm going to say my piece here. Another one on that channel said, if he doesn't play him down the middle, next game he's out for me.
Are you on about Kenny? On
the podcast, the next day he said, "I don't understand the Arteta out." So we're making minds up, boys. Say what you think. That's one thing.
It's for the clicks and the views, Claude.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
Let's all chill out.
No, I'm just saying. That's our fan base all over.
Well, as long as we know what we're saying, mate, we're all good. So don't worry about
Let me just say, let's just say something quickly, right? Claude, let me finish. Claude, calm down, Claude. Look, they are entitled to their opinions, and they're entitled to have to what? No, seriously, no, Claude. They are entitled to their opinions just as we are. But let's just remember one thing, right? This is Arsenal Football Club. We're not Portsmouth fans. We're not Plymouth fans. We're not Grimsby fans. We're Arsenal Football Club. There's a reason why we're ambitious, because simple reason. I see it as a humiliation that Chelsea have won 15 trophies in the last 17 years, and they're more successful for us. I see it as a humiliation that Man City are a more successful team. I see it as an humiliation. No disrespect to Man City and Chelsea, but that's where Arsenal should be. And I'm not going to rest until Arsenal are back where they belong. And that means every manager is held to a situation where they have to perform. There is no process. It's a results business. You have to get where we have to be. We've been starved out of success for the last 16 years. And enough's enough. All right. We're not giving managers time. We've given a manager. We sacked a manager in 2018, April 2018. That's when the process started. Which means if one manager falls off the gravy train, we get another manager and continue that process. The process did not start in December 2019.
No, mate, I make it right. And you know what I've heard as well? I've seen so many people. Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Listen, if people want to say what they're saying over there, cool. As long as I'm saying what I'm saying over here and I'm sticking with what I'm saying, we're sweet. But at the same time,
I don't mind. But Lee, I got slaughtered this morning all over the fucking social media.
Oh, fuck social media.
I believe. No. It's why is it when I say it, right? When I say it, you hate the club, you hate the football club. I've been going since the 70s, mate. Well, before half of these people were even thought of. And they're
Claude, they're just trolls, mate. Ignore them. They're just trolls, mate.
You know what it is. You know what it is. Arsenal fans, right? They get joy of
maybe I should have been. I should have gone to drama school, and I'll be in America now. Maybe that's what I should have done instead of supporting Arsenal.
Yeah, Lee. You know what? I've noticed that Arsenal fans over the past few years they get more joy with other clubs' failings than our own team doing well, right? We've got in my opinion, in the past 5 years, we've got no right to banter City fans, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, United fans, and Spurs fans. Do you agree? 100%. What right do we have to banter? We don't have the banter because these clubs have all finished ahead of us last year.
Yeah, but Afzal, listen. What? Sorry to interrupt you, mate. But that is a moot point. It's irrelevant. What's relevant is who is our manager right now and what type of decisions is he making, right? Forget other fans, forget other clubs. I agree. Your manager, Afzal, is making every single wrong decision for this football club, right? Now, I've said to you, you know I've called you out on this in the past, but how long are you going to wait before you wake up and smell the coffee? Now,
believe me, Zach, you can tell I've woken up. That you can see the stuff I'm saying. I've disagreed with quite a few of his decisions, but I want to ask you guys all one thing. What number best squad do you think we have in the Premier League? Just everyone give a one-word answer. Kenny?
Where?
In terms of squad-wise, what number are we?
All right, so I'll answer your question. Find a way.
Just answer.
Find a way. They've been.
Find a way. Exactly.
Find a way. Find a way. That's the answer.
No, I'm just asking you. Like, do you think?
I'll answer that. Can I answer that question? What you just said?
Yeah.
It. I'm gonna return the question to you. Okay. Before the start of the season, when Leicester won the league, right? Would you put their squad? No, hold on. Where would you put their squad in position with the players there?
Yeah, probably like 11th. Yeah, probably like 11th.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
10th, 11th.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I know. I was just asking.
You've answered the question.
Okay. So
I'm just saying we've got huge problems in this club from top to bottom.
We have got huge problems. At the end of the day, if you get somebody in who can work the team properly, you can get better results and you get blood out of a stone. Let's get some questions in for the last couple of minutes here. We're going to start with. I'm just going to do one question to one person. We won't go around the whole lot. Chig's asleep.
No, because I want ages ago.
You were like,
I'm just dropping, to be honest. But go on.
Question. Right, I'm going to do one question for each of you. So get the questions in.
I apologize, Chig. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. I wanted to get in so many points. I was like, bro, let me freaking answer. But go on.
What has Arteta done to improve Arsenal except tighten the defence?
Silence says it all, doesn't it?
Exactly.
He's not even improved the defence. So we're...
No, he's just parked more players behind the ball, which makes your defence better instantly.
He's allowed. I don't know. I think one thing I would say is probably allowed the 18, I guess, to be able to. Can't even say that. No, never mind. No, for me, no. I feel like maybe they have a little bit more pride in terms of defending goals.
No chance.
Maybe.
Did Rob Holding and Bellerin and all that lot have pride the other day?
Maybe.
Like, come on, man.
And the only reason I'll say that, and that's a stretch, like Zach says, but I feel like for me, you could argue that we're taking less of the 5-0, 8-2 tonkings, but
Okay.
In some way.
Whoa. When did we do that under Emery? When did we? I know we lost 5-1 to Liverpool.
I'm not saying we. I'm not saying we did. Bro, you asked me a question. I'm trying to argue the best way I can. For me,
I'm not trying to slap you about.
Really bad show for me today. All right, before I get swords at every direction, this is the point I'll make. It's very clear that Arteta's focus is to prevent goals, regardless of whether you think we're doing that or not. That has been his focus. Now, you could argue that there were times under Wenger when you went to those bigger teams that we could take a Tonkin. So if perhaps I could pick, and I admit it, it's a stretch. One thing is that I don't necessarily go into those big games and think we're going to get 7-0 pasted.
Yeah, Chig, we just took a Tonkin at home to Villa. They
I know. I know. But like I say, I admit it's a stretch. But I don't necessarily go into those big games assuming we're going to get a spanking.
No, I know what you're saying. Right, next question. Let's put this one to Kenny. How does Arteta keep his job, in your opinion?
Results.
What's he got to do to keep it?
Results. The results have to improve, and to improve the results, the players have to start playing for him, and he needs to be flexible with his formations and personnel. He gets the results. Because you've got to realise, right, teams, because this Premiership is ridiculous. Last season, no one would have thought Man United would have got in the top 4, got third. What they do, like I said, unleashed the beast. Played more attacking football. Got Bruno Fernandes from Lisbon, and that's what happened. Anything can happen. Fernandes.
It's Fernandes in Spanish, Fernandes in Portuguese.
The only thing that he's got in his favour, Arteta, he's got 30 games left. I suggest he uses them wisely. That'd be my suggestion. Use them wisely, get your results, and stop pissing around. Decide who you want to play, decide on your formation, make sure it's attacking, and just find a way to win games. Because, trust me, you can go on a run of games and you get yourself in a position where you could attack the top 4. So it's results. That's what he needs to do.
No, that's cool. Let me big up Ian as well. Will sacking the manager help when we still have the same incompetent board? Afzal.
For me, the board is not a huge problem, right? The board, what people don't realize, this is actually what annoys me, right? Yeah, we spend money. Yeah, Liverpool have spent less net spend than us over the past few years. So have Chelsea, so have Spurs. We spent money. We've just spent stupid money on the wrong players. That's what it is. Yeah. So it's not entirely on this board. Some people say, "Oh, it's the board. It's the board. It's the board." No, it's not entirely the board. Yeah, it's a mixture of. Obviously, some blame is to go on the board, but no chance most of the blame. It's a mixture of everything. Over the past few years at Arsenal, you can blame the players, you can blame the manager, and partly the board. Like I said, the club is in a mess from the top to bottom.
The board set the targets, which they clearly don't fucking make them meet, because their target was Emery to get Champions League. He didn't get it, and he got another start of a season. So, yes, they're not a massive issue in terms of spending money.
Spending-wise, yeah, they're not. Yeah.
But in terms of actually sticking it on a manager,
the whole strategy.
But I wish that guy, what's it? Raul?
Hang on, after 1 sec. Go on.
Okay.
The whole strategy is from the board. So regardless of whether you want to blame Arteta, and yes, he deserves a fair blame, the idea that they're taking a gamble on a novice is a strategy that has been developed by the board. It will always come back down to them. And the only way that they can rectify it is by relieving the man of his duties and bringing in an appropriate person. I don't want to see another Mikel Arteta. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have given Patrick a chance, but now I'm so stuck by this idea of bringing in another Arsenal great that, quite frankly, I don't even want Patrick involved now. I just want a clean manager away from the club who's qualified and able to carry the responsibility that this club needs. And that's why I feel like you've got to give it to an experienced guy now. You have to.
If he gets
Actually,
sacked, you've got to go for a big gun. Otherwise, forget
You
it.
have to go for a big gun.
You don't think Mertesacker getting the job
100%.
until we find the new manager's going to work then?
When I mean big gun, I mean Jose Mourinho style big gun, not any Jose Mourinho, Jurgen Klopp
Honestly,
style big gun.
At one point, I want to know, but at this point, I would like a big gun. Big gun.
I agree.
Pochettino, Mourinho, Klopp. You need a big gun, or forget it.
I agree, man. Next question. Let's go. It says, can Sean Dyche do what Arteta is doing at the moment? What is the difference? Let's go with Claude. You there, mate? You're frozen. He's frozen.
All right, Lee, I'm down to 1% on my battery.
Go on, mate.
I might lose you.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. We're going to wrap this up anyway after this. I'll put that to Zach, but thank you, mate. Appreciate love always, man.
All right, guys, love you all. This was
very heated.
They're very heated. My shorts are on fire. this debate. I didn't realise.
Take care, mate.
I didn't realise the Villa defeat hurt that much.
Oh, it was painful, mate. It was painful.
Well, I'll speak to you guys later.
Take care, Kenny. Speak to you soon, mate.
Can Sean Dyche do what Arteta's doing, Zach?
Lee,
What's the difference?
I think Sean Dyche would do a much better job than Arteta's doing, right? Because what we need is a manager who's going to do the simple things. So, players in their right positions, right? Not confuse people. Kieran Tierney, like they're all being confused at the moment. They don't know. I'll give you an example. Bukayo Saka has played 4 different positions under Mikel Arteta, right? You don't want to confuse an 18-year-old kid. You want to say, you're a left winger, go and show me some consistency on the left wing. I think if we got someone like Sean Dyche, obviously he wouldn't be my choice, but let's take that as the example. He would come in and do the basics, right? This is what this football club needs right now, because we've got the right building blocks. We just need to play the players in their right positions, and then we will start moving forward as a football club again. The biggest thing that Arteta's done wrong is pretend that he is some sort of genius manager, and he's come in and tried to do inverted fullbacks. Bellerin's playing in midfield, all this crap, right? Just do the basics, mate. Football is not a difficult sport. It's not a complicated sport. You're not Pep Guardiola, right? Just do the basics. And that's where I think Arteta's gone wrong. He's overcomplicated it. And by the way, last point, I think he has now lost the dressing room, by the way, because I think the players are looking at Arteta and thinking, actually, all this optimism we had when you came in, we've now worked with you for 10 months. We now realise you don't have a clue what you're doing. You're micromanaging us. We can't express ourselves on the pitch. All we can hear on the sideline is you shouting at us. That's not what top-level players need. They need to go out there with simple instructions on how to manage a game and go and play football, right? That's what they need. And Arteta, he doesn't stop talking the whole game. And with no fans in the stadiums, it's even more pronounced right now because he's just rabbiting on in their ear. And I'm not, Aubameyang, right? He's on the left wing. I think that's normally the side that Arteta would be in the dugout. Maybe that's affecting him. I don't know. But back to the original question, Sean Dyche, yeah, I'd take him all day long over Arteta. But then I'd take Afzal as manager over.
Right, let's get one more question. One more question for Claude. I'll see one a minute ago. There it is. We'll end on that. Thank you to everyone who has smashed the likes up, donated, joined memberships. Make sure you follow Claude and the Bantsters on his channel. Make sure you follow Guna Eagle Eye. So close to 10K, it's mad. And make sure you follow Zach on Twitter.
Afzal, you're lucky I went easy on you today.
Yeah. The question,
this is Zach's version of easy on Afzal.
I think me and Kind Guna got on well today, We'd be a good team.
Let me ask my question now.
Yeah, go on, mate. Sorry, mate. Go on.
If Arsenal finish 4th and win Europa League, or somehow reach Champions League spot, will you sack him? That's a good question.
Zach would.
It is a good question.
You know what?
Yeah, you would say.
For the future of this football club, yes, I would maybe. But it won't happen. It won't happen because if he qualifies, and because, the reason I would say yes, sack him, because I remember I remember the moment when we beat Hull and 2-0 down at the cup final, and it was all our heads were down. But you know that day, if we'd have lost that final, I think we'd be in a better position now than what we are.
Oh, I wanted him gone still after that final. Just
But because we won it, everyone changed and everyone wanted.
I wanted him gone after 2014, 15, and 17 final.
Yeah, but the problem is, that's why I'm saying what people will think now. Oh, why do you want him out if we qualified and all that? Because I'm looking long term. I'm looking at.
You know what? In all honesty, Claude, it would depend. If it's like a collapse of other teams around us, and then by default Arsenal get it, then you're absolutely right. If Arsenal somehow miraculously show amazing amount of progress between now and the end of the season and become, for me, a contender, like no, we may not end up playing for the title, but actually play like a contender, and you can see that there's progress, then that's different. Yeah, that's
Chig, I completely agree with you. Because you know what Chelsea did? Claude, just let me say this one point, and then you know what Chelsea did? Big club Chelsea, right? You know what they did when Sarri won in Europe and got on top 4? Do you know what they did? They sacked him. Yeah? That's what big clubs do. It doesn't matter if we scrape 4th, like you said. It's irrelevant. Sorry, Claude.
But what I'm pointing out is because you know when that question is a bit loaded because what happened this year when we won the FA Cup? Really, I thought to be quite honest with you, that's another thing I think went against us as well in the long run. Because if you look at when we won the FA Cup in that final, and I'm not being funny, you can say what you want. First 10 minutes, we were getting absolutely destroyed, by Pulisic and co. Absolutely, could have been 1 or 2 down. He got the drinks break, so he could organise. He would not got that drinks break any other time. Then they lost their captain. Then they lost their best player, Pulisic. It was went off injured, and then they got a player sent off. How can it all fall in for you? And then everyone was saying, "Well, master plan that went in the FA Cup." No, we were lucky. We were fucking lucky. Sheffield United. Lee pointed it out a few weeks ago. Sheffield United, no VAR. We're out the FA Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I did this argument with Campbell the other day. You can't judge a manager on winning the FA Cup because look at Wigan. They won the FA Cup.
Harry Redknapp won it with Portsmouth.
Sunderland beat Leeds. One-off game. Bob Stokoe, remember the day? 72. It was 1972. What have they done since? But exactly, this is what I'm trying to say. You cannot judge it on FA Cup. League is where you judge a coach. FA Cup can be won by anyone.
And on that bombshell, we are going to wrap this show up. Thank you to every single one of you that has watched this video. If you haven't stuck a like on it, please do. There's over 1,000 people still watching. I've put all of your links for, well, obviously not Afzal, so he ain't got any. Chig, Claude, I'll put your links in the chat for your channel. Kind Guna, I'll put your Twitter link in the chat. So you might get some followers, mate. Afzal, always a pleasure. Chig, Claude,
Thanks,
and Kenny.
Where's Kenny gone?
Kenny's battery died.
Thanks,
but I've also put
Appreciate
Kenny's
that.
link in the chat as well. Also, I will be back at about 9 o'clock tonight. Maybe between 9 and 10, I'll be back at some point. Make sure you smash the likes up. And also, Turkish is live right now. So all fly over to Turkish's channel, batter the shit out of his comments saying, Lee Gunner sent me, Lee Gunner sent me, Lee Gunner sent me. When you did it with Wizzy the other night, it was 10 minutes.
Say Kind Guna sent me. Kind Guna sent me.
Turkish should be saying
Next time, I'm not going to go.
But thanks very much to all of you guys.
Yo, Zach, man, the same tune, you know?
Big up to Chig, Claude, Kenny, Zach, Afzal. Thank you for an hour and a half of your time.
Thanks a lot.
We're out of it.
See you next week. See you next week for a game.